All right, so we're here with Cam Merle and Jake Ross and head coach. Coach, you just want to have an opening statement, talk about the game.
It's a great basketball game, great college basketball game, highly competitive. It's a epic Division III playoff game. We were fortunate enough to have a couple things go right for us and be able to hang on to a lead. There was never a time when I was comfortable. Credit to Cabrini and how hard their kids played during the whole game. Credit to our kids for the same.
Coach, you talk about the shooting. First half, 10 for 12 from three. You were 13 for 15 at one point. Obviously, that makes the offense a little bit easier. When you cooled off a little bit, Jake, you took over being more aggressive with the ball. Any adjustments at the half? I guess not, shooting like that.
They played a different defense in the first half that we were able to capitalize against with the zone, and the shooters were ready and knocked them down. It's always easier to coach when shots are knocked down. And then the second half, they upped the pressure and went right at us, and we were able to handle the pressure and handle the intensity of it and trying to win the game and finish it. So
You hit 13 threes last night. Were you surprised they opened up with a zone?
nothing surprises me anymore, quite frankly. But I also think that there's some reasons that we also played some zone, and when you get into a two-game back-to-back situation with the amount of tension and stress and exertion, sometimes the zone can be a little bit easier and buy you a few minutes to play. And I don't know what Coach was thinking, but we went to it. We had foul problems, and we were trying to literally just buy a few minutes during the game by playing a zone ourselves.
Can you guys talk about playing two tough games, maybe for the players, two tough games back-to-back? I know you guys don't have a back-to-back schedule in the new MAC. You play midweek and then Saturdays, so what did that feel like?
Definitely had a quick turnaround. Legs were tired, but I mean, at this point, it's just who wants it more. We always say at this point, it's not basketball anymore. It's who's believing harder, and I think we have a pretty good thing going between our team, and we really like each other, and we have a great senior class, and we just want to keep it going.
Yeah, we have back-to-backs are pretty hard, so hard on the body. So we have a great training staff getting us ready, and it's a big part of it.
I think one of the keys to the game that may not come out too, and they're not sitting here now that these two guys didn't have a huge impact, but we got a couple of nice contributions, maybe small, but huge in the end result of the game with the minutes that Kevin Durkin played as a 5 when we had some foul trouble. And also Brandon Eccles coming in at the beginning of the second half, knocking down a couple of threes was a huge way for us to start off the second half.
What was the pressure like for Cabrini? It's what they used to get back in the game. Albright kind of similar last night against the press. Different from Albright's press. Talk to me about playing against that.
I would say relatively similar. I would say Albright was a little more sporadic and just kind of jumped you, and Cabrini had a little more of a plan to like when to do things. But I mean, it's hard to play with pressure, especially when it's a high-tempo game. We usually play in 60s and 70s, like I said, and we're putting up 100 points. I mean, that's just out of our norm, but if we adjusted, and I think we kind of relaxed a little bit at times, and I think that kept us in the game, because the first game against Albright was a little different. I think we handled the pressure as well as we did tonight.
I mean, yeah, we knew they were going to go on the run at some point in the second half, and they did. They cut to like 3 at one point, and we were able to withstand it and be able to stay composed, and that was a big part of why we won.
Andy's free throws down the end too. I mean, those are huge. You miss those, give them life.
Coach, you guys finished the game 26 for 37 from the line. Jake just touched on it briefly. Just talk about, the composure your guys had down the stretch. Andy Minotti again came up big down the stretch. From the free throw line, talk about how you guys were able to seal from the line.
Well, and with that kind of pressure, there's a lot of contact, and we were fortunate to get some of those calls. I think a lot of it had to do with when we were passing the ball, we got them out of position, and they had to really fight to get back in a position, and in that case fouled. And I don't know what the numbers were going down the stretch. They ended up going to the line quite a few times too. But when we knocked them down, and that was possessions that were successful regardless of whether you make a basket or make a free throw. And as they got down and the game got closer to the end, they were more desperate and had to foul, and we were able to knock them down.
Cam, you guys tied a program record tonight, 16 threes in a game, and I thought you know, for you guys tonight to get off to a fast start, hit your first 4 3-pointers from beyond the arc. Talk about that fast start today and the confidence you guys got going early from deep.
Yeah, that's huge. Whenever you're able to knock down shots early in the game, it just gives you the confidence to know it's there for the rest of the game. Good rhythm and flow.
Jake, incredibly efficient offensive night for you, 31 points on just 8 of 11 from the field. Talk about how you were able to kind of control aspects of the game your second straight night playing 40 minutes, kind of carrying the ball out. A lot of times the ball was in your hand and how you were able to dictate the pace of play tonight.
I would say from the Albright game, I just tried to focus on not turning the ball over as much, and it says I had 6 tonight, but it just doesn't feel that way to me. I feel like I did a better job taking care of the ball and taking care of the pace of the game. I just think that I let the game come to me a little bit more, took shots when they were open, and they fell tonight, and I just think that kept us wherever we kind of wanted to be.
Coach, we were hanging out earlier today, and you said you didn't want this season to end, and you'll go to the Sweet 16 for the first time since your first season here at Springfield in 2000. Talk about this special group and how you guys will be one of the final 16 Division III teams
I love
playing
how when
next
you
week.
get old, they tell you how long ago it was you did it last. It is a special group, and we've got some things that we've been communicating about, and it's been really working for us. And a classic example is I'm yelling on the sidelines to settle it, and a Cam Earl or a Jake or a Trey they miss them and they don't have a matchup, and they shoot the 3 and they should. And invariably today we got some open looks and we knocked them down. They were huge. So it's a really good group. We're looking forward to whatever is next. I don't know. I haven't looked at the bracket. I don't know who's won and lost tonight. We'll go wherever they send us.
Any final thoughts, Coach?
I
Your
would like to,
experience here?
yes, I do. Cabrini ran an outstanding first-class tournament this whole weekend, everything, and especially under the circumstances with the weather and power and a few other, I'm sure, various sundries that I'm not aware of, to pull off this tournament. So the first-class situation here in Cabrini.
A couple more questions. Jake, you said last night you were nervous coming in. How'd you feel tonight?
I felt better. I felt more comfortable, and I think I had a close old grad assistant coach come up to me and goes, who made the trip down, said, you've played here now, you've played your first game, you got it out of your system, you're done. He's like, it's time to play. And that just kind of like resonated with me. I thought about that a lot last night, and I just felt more comfortable coming into the game. I was like, I'm just ready to play and put everything on the line and go for it. So I think that helped.
Coach, I asked you last night how he played. You paused and you said we won. So I'm going to ask you again, how did he play?
How did Jake play?
Yes.
I thought he was outstanding, and you know, so much of what he's got so much pressure on him to control the tempo and our offense, and we're making calls and we're yelling at him, and then again we're on the other end we're yelling at him to match up with typically their best offensive player. He played superbly. I'm a little surprised by the 6 turnovers too, but against the pressure type team, if this is correct, we had 19 total turnovers, and when you're going against a pressing team, anything under 20 is pretty good if you shoot the ball okay, and we were able to survive it.
Cam, last question from me. Give me a sense for what the week ahead looks like. I don't know if you guys are on spring break or not. How will you guys prep for the next weekend?
We got school next week. Spring break is until the one after that. But just grind, practice for the rest of the week, yeah.
Did you just call my practice a grind?
So,
Work hard.
We're looking. It's an awesome situation. We're very much looking forward to another week of practice and play next weekend.
congratulations, Coach.
Thank you very much.
I don't have
Thank
anything
you all,
else.
you guys. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, guys. Congratulations.